Good evening. My name is Brett Stalkup. Welcome to the Choices Podcast. You can find us at choicespodcastofficial.com or you can find us on Facebook, Choices Podcast, the group. Tonight, you can ask questions by commenting and send it to us, and we'll be glad to answer it. We are welcoming you tonight for a wonderful show on what is fun? Question mark, exclamation point. This is going to be a great show on different things we can do to have fun. We have Carcass John. We have Denny Brewer, my brother, the Reverend. Good evening, guys. Carcass, how are you doing?
Doing great. We literally weathered the storm the last few days. It's been cold and snowy and covered in ice, and somehow we made it out the other side. It's sunny and beautiful today. Got up to 50.
50?
50.
Hey, didn't you tell me earlier today it's supposed to get down in the teens next week?
Yeah, mid-20s for the highs and teens at night. And that is cold for Texas, man.
I'll be out of here.
You're gonna send me another one of those toenail pictures from the beach?
Yes, sir. I will be out of here.
That's not nice. You shouldn't do that to your friends.
Hey, we're going to have fun tonight. This is going to be fun because, I had to work at having fun. And I'm interested.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Before we get too started, what do you mean you had to work to have fun?
I was such a workaholic, dude. I was driven like a donkey. I felt like
I see what you're saying. So you're taking it a different angle. I was thinking you're just not physically capable of having fun, and you had to really, really work at it to have fun. So that's different. That's a different meaning.
Dude, I'm having fun right now. I got my John Wayne hoodie on.
Shout out to Dave Sanchez and the boys in Colorado. Thanks for the havoc.
Oh, that's awesome. Here. Hey, you got a song for us tonight?
I do, and I dug deep on this one because there's a lot of campy tunes out there, but man, this one by Jason Mraz is really, really good. It's called "Living in the Moment," and I'm just going to read you the last part of it because there's kind of a build up of the messages in the last four verses.
Oh, I love that. I love that dude, Jason Mraz.
Yeah, he's got a great voice.
He's got a great voice.
Writes good songs, but it says, "I can't walk through life facing backwards." That's the one that hit me right off the bat. So I can't walk through life facing backwards. I have tried. I've tried more than once to just make sure, and I was denied the future that I'd been searching for. I spun around and hurt no more. So sometimes I've always said life is directional, and if we're walking at it backwards and can't see what's coming, then I think we're doing ourselves a disservice. But it says, by living in the moment, living my life easy and breezy, with peace in my mind, with peace in my heart, got peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. I think sometimes our reward should be in what we're doing and not necessarily something down at the end of the line. But we can talk about that as we get into it. I'm living in the moment. I'm letting myself off. I'm living my life, the hook for things I've done, just taking it easy. I let my past go past, which I think is a good line. With peace in my mind, and now I'm having more fun. Got peace in my heart. I'm letting go of the thoughts. Got peace in my soul that do not make me strong. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home, and I believe this way can be the same for everyone. I'm living in the moment. I'm letting myself off. I'm living my life, the hook for things I've done, easy and breezy, and I let my past go past, blah blah blah, and then we go on again. But that one line about I let the past go past, I really think that's kind of an interesting thing because how often do we hold on to the past? Good, bad, or indifferent. I know people that hold on to the things they've done in the past, and that makes them not do things in the future because they figure they've already done something good. then I see just the opposite of where something bad has happened and they never can let it go. So they can never have fun anymore. It's kind of scary.
They have a hard time forgiving themselves or forgiving the person that violated them.
Yep.
Uh,
But that
you
song
know,
is chock full of good advice.
yeah, the river of life is a journey, and you got to keep pedaling down the river. You can't pedal back up river. Uh, you got to let things go. But tonight's about having fun.
I have a long list of you know what? I think you should have fun in everything you do. I think there are times to be serious and less lighthearted and jovial, but I think even in church, which generally is a serious thing. I don't know how many church sessions I've been to in my life, but sometimes there's a little humor there. I think if you believe in God, I think you got to believe He's got a sense of humor.
Oh, dude, my God is wearing a polo T-shirt, blue jeans, and Birkenstock. And his hair long, and he is one cool dude. There
Yep,
you go, brother.
yep. But you know what? I try to have fun in whatever I'm doing, even at work, even at church, when I'm dealing with family or friends. I try to make it fun. And my mom used to think I was a little bit of a wiseacre, but then I think as she started to understand my humor, that I was just trying to lighten the mood so everyone could have some fun.
Yeah.
Wasn't trying to
I
be disrespectful.
I like hanging out with my girls and my wife. I even took my daughter, my Aggie daughter, and her best friend and my wife to see the comedian this last weekend, Shane Gillis.
Oh yeah,
Dude, he's out there, man. That place was packed.
yeah.
Packed. I'm like, dude, he's got like a $500,000 show up fee. He was funny, but I mean, nasty mouth thing,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know.
I have a buddy out in Provo, Utah, of all places, that runs a bar called Dry Bar Comedy,
Yeah.
and it's clean jokes, no
Gosh.
innuendo, no profanity,
Oh,
and you know what? It's just as funny.
yeah.
It's just as funny. I'm sorry.
I know. I mean, you don't have to talk all that craziness. There's other things you can do that's funny, you know.
Yeah.
And anyways, you know what I like doing for fun too, dog.
What?
You got to
Uh,
see this. Uh, can you see this? That's my vision board on my phone.
Okay.
You see Fleetwood Mac there?
Yeah.
I love my records. That's fun to me.
Well, I mean, yeah.
You see that set of drums? See the
Yeah.
set of drums? You know I love playing the drums.
I know that's a fact.
Then I got my faith there. I love ranching. I like fishing, fly fishing. See my fly rod? I mean, my daughters helped me put my vision board together. We had so much fun doing that on the phone. You do it with Pinterest. You download the photos on Pinterest and then you upload them on Canva. And that was really fun.
I'm gonna try
Because
that out. Vision
I
board.
got to write it down to have fun, dog. I mean, we're going to do some fun things, but there's fun things to do. Fly fishing is fun. I used to like to really hunt. I like to hunt ducks, I guess, but now to me, it's more about being out in the country. I'm more about ranching than I am killing. But what do you
You,
do for fun, Carcass?
oh, well, you know what?
Carcass, tell everybody about you going to the mosh pit, whatever that is.
You know, that used to be a lot more fun when I was younger. But you know what? I love. Well, when I was in college, um, a friend of mine from Fresno, he was a skate kid. Uh, we created this activity called New Wave Night at an old place called the Star Palace. that I think the building is still there, but I don't think they're still doing the thing. But I had never experienced punk, and I was really into music, and I had heard of bands like the Sex Pistols and Discharge and whatever, but I'd never really gotten into the dancing part of it, or the live music part of it. And the first time we did a new wave night, I DJ'd, and this guy, and whose name was Brett Marston, as I remember, he said, I'll handle the DJ thing. You get out there and get down in that swarm of writhing bodies and whatever. And it was fun. It was physical. It felt like playing basketball, where you're hip checking and you're moving guys out and whatever. Not being malicious, not trying to hurt anybody. I mean, some mosh pits are like that. But I remember at the end of the night, we were packing up all my gear, and Brett says, "How do you feel?" He says, "'Cause you look different." I said, "Man, I feel relaxed. I feel great. I feel like this has been catharsis for me." And that's when I kind of realized that was kind of fun to kind of eliminate all the stress of the day. I mean, I was working 3 jobs and going to school 16 credit hours, and I had a lot of in the design stuff that I was in, the design field I was in. I mean, there were long hours outside of class of drawing and trying to put together projects. And man, that was catharsis, dude. I had fun, and that release of tension was what I have grown to love, as far as being what my definition of fun is, when I can eliminate that tension of life and be physically, emotionally, and spiritually relieved of it all.
I started journaling about having fun some time ago, but now I do all sorts of stuff that's fun. I play tennis with my wife twice a week. That's so much fun. And pickleball, I got a pickleball court. That's fun. Fly fishing, and Reverend and I like to fish together. That's the bomb fun. And I love going to Montana to fish. I love saltwater fly fishing for albies. Oh my gosh. It's so much fun. But I have fun without drinking. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. In fact, I've had this discussion with several close to me, and some people have to have that in order to claim it was fun. I I haven't really delved into that ever. And I always want to remember what I did. And I know sometimes I hear friends and sometimes other family members say, "Oh, we were so blasted that we couldn't remember what we did." And I thought, that just sounds like trouble waiting to happen. But once again, as we kind of delved over the definition of this subject, each man or woman they have their own definition. It's like one man's meat is another man's uh one man's trash is another man's treasure, or something like that. I mean, my dad would look at in my record room and just shake his head and say, "Why?" And I say, "Dad,
Dude,
but
but I
there's
get that, but I
history."
don't get getting so drunk where you're throwing up in a toilet.
Well,
That's not fun to me, dude.
that doesn't sound like fun to me at all.
I
I love
don't
to have
I
my
don't
faculties.
oh, man.
Well, I'll tell
Oh,
you what, though, fun sometimes comes in. I think you need other people sometimes to have fun. I can have fun on my own because I can go in my little record hubble over here, put on a record, sit back in my comfy chair, and just enjoy it. And to me, that's fun. Sort through some records, sort through some tapes, do whatever. But one time, I can specifically recall I was in a little artistic funk, and Steph said, "What's wrong?" I said, "I'm in this funk. I just don't know what to I just don't I feel non-creative." And usually reading a book spurns my creative level. It wasn't working. She said, "You draw anything you want and I'll get a tattoo of it." And I thought, "Wow, that's pressure, but yet it was kind of fun." So I broke the barrier, but it took another person to help me have fun. And we sort of giggle about it because, yeah, she went and got it tattooed. So a piece of me is now part of her, in a very physical and visual way, just because I was struggling, but it was fun. It was fun to tell. It's fun to tell other people the creative process and what went into it. I don't know.
I like Sake and I were talking about tonight at dinner. What they always look at me and say, what's fun to you? I go, for me, just hanging out with my girls is fun. If they just let me sit there and listen and watch, I mean, that's fun to me. It really is. But I like taking them places. You see me take them to the record shop,
Sure.
you know.
I,
I
I
created it.
well, I love seeing the you and I have shared the record collecting thing for a while, and it's awesome when I see a parent bring their child in and
Oh,
see their eyes light up and they're like, wow, I've never seen a Beatles record like this before.
oh yeah, dude. I was gonna pull out my record you made me buy, the Paul McCartney cold cuts,
Oh yeah,
hot hits and cold cuts. They only call it cold cuts. Nobody even knows about that record.
no, but see, you're having fun.
It's fun. And with my oldest daughter, I was like, dude, I don't have a boy, and a boy I could always play, football with or something. So my daughters, I created fun with them, and my oldest daughter is Formula One. Dog, she
Okay,
knows more about Formula One.
I
My
love
youngest daughter, I
Formula
mean,
One.
Formula One, and my oldest daughter is a Beatles collector. Like y'all have got her addicted on Beatles, you know. She knows every word. She knows what the best rock and roll song ever is by the Beatles, which is A Day in the Life. Come on, dog.
Okay, well,
Day in the Life is the
he's a
best rock and
Beatles
roll.
expert. I'm not.
Oh, I love it.
Ask me about Mortiferum or something or Exodus.
That's
But
what's fun about it.
yeah, no, that
You
is what.
know,
So what? How do you have fun at work? Do you have fun at work, or is it all business?
it's uh it's it's balls to the wall all day long, to be honest with you. I have to, the fun part for me is I take my dog to work every day. Today was her birthday.
Mm.
Uh, so she had a Big Mac quarter pounder with cheese, no onions, and it was gone so fast. We all sang happy birthday to her. And then she had, instead of birthday cake, she had a bowl of whipped cream.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she had a good day.
So do you think work should be fun?
I don't know, dude. I'm dealing with so many life and death situations on a daily basis. It's hard, and I have to compartmentalize. You know,
Well, I was going to say your line of work is completely different than mine, and mine used to be more creative, which was fun every day
yeah,
because every day was different, every house was different, every customer was different. In fact, I didn't really have customers. I had relationships. Because customers sound so uh, corporate, like I'm just trying to get your money and then go on to the next one. But I would develop friendships with these people, and they would develop a trust, and that became fun with me because they would call me and say, "Having this party, just knock those pots out, make them look great." And
yeah,
they didn't make me stick to any rules. They just said, "I know what you're going to do is going to be so amazing and creative that we're just going to let you do it." And that was fun. And I used to
mm.
take my kids with me. Both my kids worked on the crew with me.
I I spend a lot of time. I'm the founder of the Recovery Defense. I spend a lot of time helping people find the miracle of recovery, and that's fun to me. Uh, I like taking someone that's totally in the ditch and helping them get a life back. Uh, there's this guy, like this man called me in New Jersey, and he said, I got my son is in Georgetown, and he's walking the streets, and people are complaining. He's not on his meds. I've got a 40-hour look-see at him in a mental institution there. Can you help me? I said, sure. So I jumped in my car, drove to the mental institution, walked in like I owned it, walked right back there, started talking to him. He didn't even know who I was, dude. And I got him into manager, and he got on his meds. He's a drummer. I didn't even know that. And he looked like Sasquatch. His hair was straight out, dude. And he was about 6'4", 240. People were afraid of him in Georgetown, Round Rock. Anyways, he got his life back, and to help, that's fun to me. It's challenging and
Well,
it's fun.
Then from what I'm hearing, it sounds like when you make a difference,
Yeah,
it's fun to you.
it's fun to me.
It doesn't necessarily have to be ha ha. I went to see the comedian.
Yeah,
But it's something that is meaningful. I'm a little more directional these days in that same manner. When I see people succeed, when I give somebody advice and they take it and they succeed, that's fun to me.
yeah, it is fun. I got young ones that I've helped get clean and sober, and they come by and give me a hug all the time. That's fun to me, you know.
So if you could take off and go anywhere in the world, money is no object. We're just going to take Brett and 3 people with him. He can go anywhere he wants. Where would you go?
If I took my wife and my kids, it'd be back like we're going to Greece to see my wife's family in Cyprus. That's so much fun. But if it's me individually and not including my family, I'm going to be fly fishing in Montana. There's a place called Camp at Rock Creek. An Aggie owns it, dude. It is gorgeous and it's quiet. You know, I love that place. Or I'd go to North Carolina and saltwater fly. That's managed chaos.
Yeah. I used to work on a deep sea fishing boat during the summers, and I saw that chaos all the time.
Oh yeah, it's managed chaos.
It's like,
What
don't
would you
bring that
do,
on board.
dog?
What would I
Carcass?
do?
Yeah.
Well, once again, if I'm taking my family, I am. There's so many great places in the United States to travel, and
Oh,
and there's a couple states I've been in just about every state in the union, but there's a couple places that I know Steph hasn't been, and I would love to take her there, and just do what you said, just park and look, just park it and look
oh,
out and look at the scenery. And Montana would be one of them.
oh, Montana's gorgeous. Yellowstone, all
Uh,
of it.
Canada, man, Moose Jaw, Canada, Edmonton, Raymond, Alberta. Those places are just you can't get that anywhere else. Or I love Amsterdam. I know that when people raise an eyebrow when you say Amsterdam, in the same way when you say Vegas. My daughter and I used to meet out in Vegas all the time, and we never went to the Strip. We never went down to the main drag where all the gambling and drinking and all that stuff is. There is so much to do around Vegas. There's mountains and trails, and we're not
Oh
far from
yeah.
Death Valley.
Havana
And
Super Indian Village. The Havana Super Indian Village is right outside Vegas, right outside Lake. What is that? That's the lake that's going dry.
Lake
Uh,
Mead.
yes, right
Yeah.
outside Lake Mead is the Havana Super Indian Village.
Well,
Yeah, I've backpacked all in there. It's
and
beautiful.
once again, we don't. Our version of fun was not going and losing our paycheck in 40 minutes at the crap table. It was going to the mountains and going to a cave, going to Death Valley, which is a really interesting place, especially when it rains. Which is at the last time I was there, it was unseasonable that they had so much rain. But Amsterdam is you're living, you're standing in the middle of history, and you can see the layers of the town, and you can see the production of of the and the structure of the people. It's really interesting. And yes, they have the red light district. That's what everyone always goes to. But let me tell you what, they have some of the best record stores and the best restaurants and the coolest music
Isn't
events.
that where Hendrik gets a lot of his records?
Yeah.
Is Amsterdam?
Yeah. And then there's a guy in London that he gets a lot of stuff from too. But I think sometimes you have to step outside the box to have true fun.
Yeah. You know, my wife and I, you know, we're empty nesters, but what we really like to do is spin class together. We are easily 40 years older than any kid that's in there. But they love Mr. B and Miss Senka. We get back there on the last row in the corner, and we just have more fun spinning, and I love that. I love doing exercise with my wife. It's hilarious. And we walked outside with all the dogs, you know, before that we had our show, and that's fun to me. Just, you know, Reverend does a good job of that on getting out. He's like, one of the things of staying happy is be outside. And I agree 110%. You know,
stay moving and get outside.
Stay moving and get outside.
And don't eat the cheese.
And you know what else you said is so true? Back in 9/11, I took my wife and my kids. We spent so much time in Virginia Beach because that's where Senka was from. I remember the metal detectors all came up and they're treating us like terrorists, man. So I told my wife, I said, I ain't taking my kids to that airport anymore. I went and bought a bus, 47-foot Prevost. And man, we traveled everywhere in that thing. Everywhere. That's where I wrote my book, was in the bus.
You are probably one of the very few people that have gotten their money's worth out of an RV.
Oh,
I know you have, because I've seen that thing parked, but it's usually not parked for very long.
no, we roll,
that's
man.
how you make your money on. That's like a boat.
Yeah.
Your boat doesn't do you any good when it's in the garage.
No. And now we've downsized. Now we have a Sprinter that the back breaks down into a king size bed. So catch this, Love Truck Stop now has an RV hookup. So there's an RV area and has a dog park. So we let our dogs hang out in the dog park. We stay in the Sprinter. And that way we get up in the morning, we roll. It's $58. And I go in there and Love Truck Stop in my pajamas. They don't care. It's fun. It is. It's fun. Senka and I traveled all over the United States. There's so many beautiful places in the United States to see. And Montana is by far, I think, one of the prettiest states. Colorado's pretty, but it's a little crowded for me. Montana's not. There's a place in Montana called Paws Up. A lawyer owns it, and he built it because he made his money off the Indians, my ancestors. That place is glamping. It is, it just got the Michelin reward, whatever that means, the highest marks of a place to go to. And we stayed in this tent, blah, blah, blah. And my daughters were there, blah, blah, blah. And we had the Spears with us. And Curtis Stone, the chef, he was in our camp. So every morning we had breakfast with him. It was fun. So we fly fished, we four-wheeled, we hiked, we biked, we axed through, throw the axes, you know, at the deal. That place is really nice. It's a great place to go have fun.
So we've been talking for darn near 30 minutes, and we haven't mentioned, we've talked about having a lot of fun, doing a lot of things, and yet we haven't introduced alcohol or drugs into the talk. Because you don't need it.
No.
And I know your recovery is your big thing. I know you're a lawyer, and you're a king size lawyer. You're the man. When there's legal trouble, there's no other person. I'm not calling the law dog. I'm calling Brutal Brett at Stall Cup Law, because he's going to handle it, my business and his. But it's we're having recovery is your thing, and we're having a discussion about all these many things that we can do, and we still have yet to talk about that part, which is fine,
It
because
is.
I don't think you need it.
Doug. So when my wife and I were walking by White Rock, we live on White Rock Lake. We're walking with the dogs, and it was so quiet. And there's this idiot over here smoking junk weed. And I was like, dude, you might as well just pick up feces and smoke it. It stinks so bad. I'm like, man, what happened to the Acapulco Gold days? You know, that when it smells good, or I don't know.
Because people settle, Brett. Even in their bad habits, they settle.
Oh,
I mean,
terrible.
Come on, man. It's no different in music. It's like, you could have this if you just looked a little deeper, but you just settle for what the radio's shoving in your ear.
Dude, you know what's even worse? What's even worse than the junk weed? When I went to that, what was his name? Shane Gillis. I could care less about a stand-up comic. I could care less. It's a waste of time to me. But I just want to hang out with my girls and her, my daughter and her best friend and Senka. So they bought me a seat that was only left. They were 5 rows above me, right? So I was sitting next to this chick on the right and this dude on the left. The dude on the left had that fruity ass cheap cologne from Target. I'm like, dude, you're gagging me. You know what I mean? If you're gagging me, you're gagging your date. I'm like, dude,
you weren't
get
having
rid
fun?
of the cheap cologne. I was going. I still had fun.
And you still had fun. Even in adversity, you had fun.
Yeah. I don't like fruity cologne if you hadn't figured that out.
Yeah, I sort of figured that one out.
But I do like to have fun. Life is meant to have fun.
Of course. And why, it's kind of like when people ask me, are you having how's your day? Are you having a good day? Of course I am. You know why? Because it's a choice.
It is a choice.
Yep. I mean,
it is a choice.
Either you're going to be miserable or you're going to be having fun.
Yeah.
There's no split and it may not be going like you planned.
Yeah.
Because I've changed a tire or two during business hours and in the middle of the night.
I don't get all down and dirty sad with some client that comes in. I said, hey, dude, guess what? He'll tell me, oh, man, I just ran my car into a wall. I got hurt. Blah, blah, blah. I said, guess what? What? We're going to turn the worst thing that's happened to you into the best thing. How about that? And you just watch them click.
Yeah. People don't. It's so easy to be negative.
It is.
It's so, but it takes a little bit of work and a little bit of self-control to not be negative.
It is such a choice to be kind.
Yeah.
It's like the poor people in LA. My heart bleeds for them because I've been through that fire gig for the fires at Possum Kingdom. Texas people, we do what we do because we're Texas people. We were the first to give, babe. We're first to give without judging, and that's just what we do, Texans.
We just want to help.
We want to help. We want to give.
We don't want people to be miserable. People don't understand that. I know I've got enemies out there. I know there are people that don't care for me, and I don't particularly care for them. But I'm cordial, I'm kind, and I never would wish anything bad on those people.
No.
Even in a weak moment, I might, but you know what? I regret it because you know what? You don't know people's circumstances. You don't know people's. Maybe I had an incident with another builder, and he got out of his truck, all spit and fire and venom, and I had already had a bad day at my office getting out of the blocks, and basically the two of us were on a collision course to throwing blows. We were going to go to, well,
that's fun.
I asked him, I said, you know what, man? I said, I don't know who pee-peed in your coffee. I said, but do you have insurance? He said, yes. And I said, is it paid up? He said, yes. I said, you're about to need it. And he said, whoa, whoa, whoa. What do you mean? I said, what are you doing here? I said, you get out of here using profanity, yelling and screaming at me about this, that, and the other. I'm here to help you. And he got in his vehicle, to his credit. He got back out. And I said, man, I don't know what set you off. If I did it, I'm sorry. But I said, you set me off, and I need to let you know that. And he said, I can tell. And he said, I've had a bad day. And I said, I've had a bad day too. Can we just reset? That's what the IT guy is going to tell you to do. Just reboot the computer.
You know how you reset, don't you?
Yeah.
You shake your hands.
Yeah.
I swear to God, it works.
No,
you shake them, shake them, shake them, shake them.
You take a deep breath, you shake your hands. In fact, both of us did that.
And go switch.
And then I reached out and I shook his hand. And I said, you know, let's start this all over again. And he says, let's do it, please. And he says, and I'm so glad that you didn't rattle my teeth, because he knew I was going to bring it with both barrels. I thought, I haven't been in a fight in a long, long time. A long time. But I was going to be in one it wasn't going to be a fight. I was going to be cleaning his bicuspids out of my knuckles. And I just don't want to feel like that. I don't want to be like that. It wasn't fun.
You got to switch, man.
So anyway, I don't want to get too far off the subject.
It's very possible. People see Sank and I together and they're like, God, y'all are just made for each other. I'm like, yeah, you know, we were both raised with the parents that were my dad was a yeller, her dad was a yeller. And we have never raised our voice at each other in 26 years because I don't roll that way, babe. And my brother did. My brother did roll that way. But when we get real quiet for a long period of time, you better get out of the way.
I was going to say, that's when you know what? There are two signs that you're in big trouble. My dad used to tell me, he said, when your opponent goes quiet, or they take off their watch and they hand it to somebody, you're about to get your tail feathers dusted. and so I always remembered that, because that ain't fun. Getting whooped ain't fun.
Hey, you know, we always like to end our show with a quote. Our producer, Mark Werner, tonight has given us an awesome quote, which is not a quote. It's the definition of fun, and I want to read it. But before I read it, I ask all of our listeners go on our website and hit the subscribe button for us. The more subscribers we get, the more launches we get, and the more streaming stations we get. I think we're on like 1,400 stations now, something like that. Something crazy. Anyways, what is fun? Here it is. You ready, Carcass?
I'm listening.
And Rev, I know you're listening. Fun is an experience or activity that brings enjoyment, pleasure, or excitement. It's often characterized by feelings of happiness, laughter, or delight. Fun can be found in various ways, depending on individual preferences, such as playing games. Dude, it says it all. There ain't anything about anger in there, judgments, guilt,
booze, alcohol, weed, skunk weed.
None of that. It's about having fun. And the more fun we have, the older we get, the younger we stay.
Well, it continues on to say that the basic premise of fun is to uplift our mood.
Uplift.
Yeah.
You know, I have to tell myself sometimes consciously to be nice, be kind.
Amen.
You know, but it works.
Well, because you're cognizant of your surroundings.
Yeah. God, you're in a good mood today. I love it when people say that. I am. I mean, I'm almost in a good mood every day. As long as I'm not in jail and I'm above ground, I'm
and you're
doing
on the
good.
right side of the dirt. Well,
I tell people, don't tell me, some old hook or somebody comes in my office and says, don't tell me how to do my time. I'm like, oh, dude, I've done time. How do you think I started my practice? I spent a lot of time in those jails, and the jailers will forget about you. 4 hours later, you get out. Dude, I know about time. So
that's the
don't tell
last
me I
place you
don't.
want to be, man, is in
No.
jail.
Click, and then you're out of there, dude.
Yep.
So, Carcass, this has been fun.
This has been fun.
I think we're headed the right way. I would ask everyone to try to do a vision board on Pinterest and Canva. That's fun.
I'm doing one. I got it down here on my list of things to
Oh,
do.
God,
this
it's
week.
fun. I put on there too as Joshua 24:15. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And my girls help me do all that. Dude, that's commitment,
Yep.
I also have this little saying, look around you, appreciate what you have. Nothing will be the same in a year. Isn't that awesome? It's
Amen to
gratitude.
that.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's gratitude. I love you though, man. I appreciate you guys.
Yep.
Mark, I appreciate you. Reverend, I appreciate you. You guys have a great week. I will be here Tuesday. I'll be back Monday.
Better
we're gonna
break
have a
out the
good show.
parka. Gonna be in the teens, baby.
Then I'm gonna be gone.
You're gonna get in that sprinter and sprint somewhere else.
Dude, I'm gonna roll.
Where somewhere it's warm.
Yeah, I'll be at Love's.
You'll be at the Love's truck stop
Dude, don't laugh.
Hey,
No,
I'm not laughing. I'm only laughing because it's funny.
Hey, I dare you to wear some flip-flops and Bucky's pajamas into a Love's and have a conversation with the truck driver.
That changes my whole perception of you, Brett.
Hey, and have a conversation with the truck driver in there.
Yeah.
It's awesome, dude. They are wonderful, beautiful people.
Amen to that.
Yeah. Anyways, I appreciate you. Carcass, have a good night.
Have a great night. See you.
Thank you, people. Please subscribe. Thank you.
Talk to you soon.